Battlefield 1 has always been a game about large-scale warfare and just having fun doing whatever you want, whether it's flying planes, or destroying buildings, or running over people with tanks. Battlefield 1 beta, let's talk about it. So let's start with the good. Let's start for example, I am a casual player. I have played Battlefield 4 a good amount, and that's pretty much it. I played a little of Battlefield 3, but my experience ends at Battlefield 4. This game is very fun. The weapons and vehicles feel really nice, super solid. Balancing is done well. The horses are very fun to use. Just running around, either shooting your musket or hacking away at people with your sword is just satisfying, and you feel great after getting every kill. The vehicles feel strong and have a good impact on the game, but not too much where it's lopsided. And it's, as you see, I'm not very good at this, but you really want to, if you're not good at mastering the vehicles, they're not going to be too much of a help for you, but they're still fun to use nonetheless. Now, there's this new mechanic on this map specifically, where halfway through the game, if the enemy team, when they're losing, is going to get a train, an armored train. Now, I've only had this happen to me for a few games, but my goodness, is this train strong. It is strong and it is cool. It's just amazing seeing this boss armored train riding around the tracks, just mowing down everyone, blasting people with its cannon, and it's something you do not want to mess around with. And it can really change a tide for the battle, which I guess is the point of it. Now, similar to what they've done in other Battlefield games, this game, and this map specifically, because this is the only map available in the beta, weather changes. Like that one tropical island map in Battlefield 4. Towards the late game, mid to late game, weather is going to change. It's going to start dust storming really hard, making it extremely hard and difficult to see. You'll note it's not just going to affect you visually. You'll notice if you're riding a horse, the horse isn't going to be running as fast. And also, when you're flying a plane, the sandstorm will just be slowly pushing down your plane, making it harder to fly, making sure you stay in a high altitude. Now, unlike most betas that I've played, this game runs extremely smooth. It's extremely nice with no lag, except for if you try and access the menus in-game, and it always stays at a very consistent frame rate. I don't know what that frame rate is, but it's very consistent and it's nice. No slowdowns, especially when the sandstorm hits and there's a train running loose, there's a bunch of vehicles up in the air, and buildings are exploding. It's just nice. And not very used to seeing this in most betas. Joining friends is much easier. It still uses the squad system from Battlefield 4, but it's highly more improved, and it makes it much easier to join a friend's game than it is to join another friend's games. You can just join in their game and you're automatically put into their squad, if there's an open space. If there's not, then you're going to have to kick somebody out. But most of the time, you'll be put in the same squad as your friends, making it very easy to stick together as a group and be able to share this experience. Another great thing that people are giving this game marks for is how developer DICE, or whoever makes this game, honestly, I don't know, listened to the community and made a World War I shooter, which everyone's been asking for years now. COD players like myself do appreciate this change from all the jetpacking and boosting crap that's in games nowadays. Not saying it's bad, but come on, it's getting tiring. And Infinite Warfare is going to have a hard time keeping up with this game if it does well. Now, let's talk more about the weapons. The weapons, they were able to do creative things with the weapons. As you see, the one I use the most is this, I think, Type 95 looking one. I'm not sure what it's called, I don't remember. But everything feels good. It feels nice to shoot the guns. and they also have good damage. All the guns that I've played with seem unique so far, even though I haven't played with that many. And overall, there's very few problems I see in terms of balancing, which can be a problem if there are a ton of guns in a single shooter, as we've seen with other games like Advanced Warfare. On the other hand, though, it is hard to find players. It can be very frustrating walking around the map for several minutes at a time sometimes, looking for people, and when you do find them, they usually have the jump on you, and you end up dead. Like I mentioned earlier, there are weather changes in this map, and when the dust storm hits on this map specifically, it does not help at all when it comes to playing the hide-and-seek game that it is finding players sometimes. And I'm not talking about in the wide open space desert, I'm talking about sometimes even in the little village areas where you see me walking around right now. It just, like I said, turns into a hide-and-seek game that is just way too long, and you often lose. Spawn killing is another issue that is in BF1 beta, and especially when you spawn in on one of your squad mates. The enemy usually can easily either shoot you in the back or blow you up with one of their tanks, and even when you're not mobile, especially when you're like zooming in after selecting your spawn location, making it very frustrating and very discouraging, especially when you don't know where you're getting killed from. This problem has been fixed in the past in Battlefield 3, where you have been given a few seconds of invulnerability before you can start getting shot at. Hopefully this is something implemented in the final game, but we'll have to wait and see. Class changes have been made. Now there's a medic class that has the med kit that revives players using a syringe and can throw down health packs, instead of the assault type class getting these gadgets. Now they get a new type of grenade that is meant to take out vehicles like tanks and planes, which can be a very welcome or hated change depending on some veterans of the franchise. The scout class has seen little to no changes, still having their bolt-action rifles that feel very satisfying to get kills with, even though it can be hard if you aren't used to sniping in Battlefield games and don't usually snipe. There are only 4 classes in BF1 beta, unlike in Battlefield 4 where there were 5, probably to simplify things and to have a much more different feel to the classes, instead of them just being slight adjustments to them, because now they all have their own different types of weapons specific to that class. Overall, the beta is fun. We only have access to this one map, and the closed and private alpha players have certainly had more experience and played on a different map. This game looks very promising and provides a different style and feel of FPS that most gamers have been craving for a long time now. If you've been wanting to play a game that takes place in the past, I recommend you try this beta out and maybe set aside some money for when the game actually releases. Or, go back and play COD 4 again. Now, gladly sit here and enjoy as you watch me crash this plane into the outside zone of the map and struggle to get back in as the Battlefield noob that I am. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you later.
Return to the combat area.